Hey folks, welcome to another Masculinity Monday. I missed a week last week, starting to work a little bit on a project I've got in the hopper. Hopefully you'll hear about in a couple of months. But again, back this week, I have been talking about it for a while now, about Thursdays Through the Text. That is another project that I'm getting ready to launch this week, and so keep an eye out for that. And just a million other things going on. The Focus Press YouTube channel here, and then of course my site there, jackwilkie.co. It's where you can keep up with all these things. Just keep an eye out for each of those. But let's talk a little bit more about David and Saul, and a third character I'm going to bring into it this time around, and really on the topic of respect. As we talk about masculinity, as we talk about men, we desire respect. Obviously, there was a very well-known popular marriage book called Love and Respect, about the idea that women need to be loved, they need to feel like they're wanted, men need to feel respect, they need to feel like they're needed, and they need to have that respect of you're bringing something to the table, you're valuable, that they're looked up to in some way as important. And as we look at David and Saul, you see that especially with Saul, and you see so many of the things of where it goes wrong, of when men demand respect, kind of that idea of pointing to your role. Hey, I'm the man of the house, I deserve to be respected. I'm the king, I'm the president, I'm the boss, I'm whatever. And as it's been said, if you have to tell people that you are, there's a problem with your authority, with the credibility you've earned with people, with things like that. There's an issue there that maybe you don't have the authority, or you haven't built the rapport, and you don't have the trust of your people. There's a real issue there, and something that Saul showed us in his own kingdom. And so after David kills Goliath in 1 Samuel chapter 18, David and Jonathan get along, they become close friends, and David's popularity grows. And so if you look at 1 Samuel 18 verse 5, so David went out wherever Saul sent him and prospered, and Saul set him over the men of war, and it was pleasing in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. It happened as they were coming, when David returned from killing the Philistine, that the women came out of all the cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tambourines, with joy, with musical instruments. The women sang as they played, and said, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. Then Saul became very angry, for this saying displeased him, and he said, They have ascribed to David 10,000s, but to me they have ascribed thousands. Now what more can he have but the kingdom? Saul looked at David with suspicion from that day on. With Saul, we know he didn't earn the credit he wants. He didn't earn the respect that he wants. He had the chance to stand up against Goliath. He had the chance to have the same faith that David did, and he just didn't. He was hiding out with the rest of his people. He was setting that negative example, and he didn't step up. And so, of course, the people are singing David's praises, and wow, what a warrior David is. Saul was great, and he won us some battles, but David's even better. And this gets to him. This got to him because he knew it was true. This is one of the hardest things about respect, is if you don't respect yourself, if you know you haven't earned the respect, you still want it, but then you've got that internal dilemma. And so for younger guys, yeah, you're going to want respect. You're going to want people to listen to you. You're going to want to be noticed for the work you're doing, or whatever it may be. You got to realize you have to put in the work, and you have to get to a place where you can respect yourself. If you've got some hidden sin, if you know you're not giving 100%, if you know that you didn't take a stand where you know you should have, you're going to lose that self-respect. And if you get respect from other people, it doesn't mean much to you, because you know deep down, I don't deserve that. If you don't get their respect, you're still going to crave it, and then you're going to feel ashamed, or you're going to feel down on yourself because you're not getting respect. And so you have to have that internal respect. And Saul had not earned it, and he goes out there and sees that the people aren't giving it to him, and it creates this problem. And of course, he spends essentially the rest of his life trying to get back at David, trying to pin David to the wall with a spear, chasing him all around Israel, and trying to catch him and kill him, and just ruins his own reign by going after David. And so that lack of respect that he had was a real issue. On the other hand, we're not actually going to look at David as our example. Obviously, you see here, he was competent, did his job, and he earned respect. But the character, or the figure I want to look at, is David's son Absalom. Not exactly a good guy, but he showed us earned respect here. In 2 Samuel 15, verse 2, Absalom used to rise early and stand beside the way to the gate, and when any man had a suit to come to the king for judgment, Absalom would call to him and say, From what city are you? And he would say, Your servant is from one of the tribes of Israel. Then Absalom would say to him, See, your claims are good and right, but no man listens to you on the part of the king. Moreover, Absalom would say, Oh, that one would appoint me judge in the land. Then every man who has any suit or cause could come to me, and I would give him justice. Look especially in verse 6. In this manner Absalom dealt with all Israel who came to the king for judgment. So Absalom stole away the hearts of the men of Israel. As Absalom goes on to stage his rebellion and his coup to take over the kingdom from his father David, you kind of ask those people, hey, David has slain his 10,000s. David's a great king. David brought safety and prosperity and all kinds of victories. Why would a people like that turn against David? Well, David wasn't listening to them, and Absalom was. This was subversive. This was not this was a dishonest thing to do. But people respected Absalom because he listened to them, because he cared, because he put in the time, because he showed up. He earned the respect. And so when it came time when he wanted to stage a revolt, and as you see here later on, in verse 10, Absalom sent spies throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, as soon as you hear the sound of the trumpet, then you shall say, Absalom is king in Hebron. Why, again, would they do that? Because he had earned their respect. He had put in the time, and he made it happen. And so as we consider this idea of respect, if you're a man, respect is what you want. As I said, if you're a young man, you're going to want to be respected. You might not take it that seriously right now if maybe you're a teenager or just entering your post-high school, your college days, or whatever it may be. You're going to want the respect of women and ultimately your wife. You're going to want the respect of your peers. You're going to want the respect of the people ahead of you, maybe a boss or older people in the church or whatever it may be. There's only one way to get it the right way, and it's a way that you'll respect yourself. Again, Saul didn't do the things where he could respect himself. He didn't put in the time, didn't put in the work, didn't serve the people, didn't do what he was supposed to, and then he was mad when he didn't have the respect. Well, so much of the depression, so much of the aimlessness we see among young men is a lack of self-respect and not being respected by society. A society that basically tells men you're useless, you're like a lesser form of a woman, that you just bring all these problems to the table, even from 5 years old when you're just too energetic and all the things that masculinity brings to the table. Yeah, it's hard to find respect, but you really do have to earn it and get to a place where you can respect yourself. And then do the kind of things that will get other people to respect you, not begging for their respect, not desperate, not doing things so that they'll like you. Do things where you can respect yourself, and it will go a long way. You won't have that issue like Saul had, and the anger that stems from not getting the respect you know that you don't deserve. So that's what I wanted to talk about this week. We might look at one or two more things in the lives of David and Saul with these Masculinity Mondays before moving on to some other Bible characters and other principles. But again, be a respectable person. Be somebody who can... Nobody knows you other than God better than yourself. You need to be able to respect yourself first, and then you can go and be respected by other people by what you bring to the table. So we'll talk to you guys next time. Again, make sure you're subscribed to the Focus Press channel. Give a like on this video or a comment. Obviously, every little bit helps others find the work that we're doing here, and I'll talk to you guys next time.